how to extend my student visa or residence permit in the Czech Republic. That's another question I got on my TikTok, and as I promised, I will answer all of the questions you asked me there during a live stream, or I shoot a special video about that. So this is another topic. So I'll jump right into it. But of course, first, guys, if you want some special content, if you have like one-on-one consultation with me once a month for free, any immigration topics, please join my Patreon, and of all the different social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Please do, for different types of content, because on each of the platforms I share different types of content. But now to the topic, how to extend your student visa or student residence permit in the Czech Republic. General information, and that general information is that if you have a long-term visa, you cannot really extend it if you got it for a full year, because the maximum validity of the long-term visa is 1 year. So if you got it for a full 1 year, you cannot extend. You have to switch to a long-term residence permit with the same state. So if you have a student visa and the first year is coming to an end, you have to switch to a long-term residence permit with the student purpose of stay. You always need to keep the same purpose of stay. There is an exception, employee card for which you can apply anytime. Doesn't matter if you have a visa, residence permit, whatever, doesn't matter. But generally, you first get a long-term visa with some purpose of stay, and then the next step is long-term residence permit with the same purpose of stay. And then, of course, if you have a long-term residence purpose, let's say a student residence permit, and you want to stay longer, then you will be extending the long-term residence permit under the same purpose of stay. Agnello Andrews, hi mate, thank you much for joining. Thank you all guys watching me on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you very much. I promise I will try to do the live streams at some like more convenient hour, like 5, 6-ish, as I used to do in the beginning. But now it's just somehow not possible. So hopefully I'll get there soon. And I'm somehow not stable, like connection is not stable on YouTube for whatever reason. So let's see. Okay, I'm back. Okay, sorry guys for that. So I'm strong, or my networks are strong again. So back to the topic. Your student visa or student residence permit. As explained, you cannot extend the visa. You can either switch from a long-term visa to a long-term residence permit, or you extend the long-term residence permit. Generally, you need to submit exactly the same documents as you submitted of your student residence permit. You will be submitting the same documents as you submitted for the first application for the long-term residence permit. If you're submitting extension of your business residence, you will be submitting exactly the same document for the first residence permit application you had. So there is no difference in the first application and then the extension. That's exactly the same document. So in the student case, you need to have an application form, passport, obviously, a valid visa if you're switching from a long-term visa to the long-term residence permit, or valid residence permit if you're just extending the validity of the residence permit. Then you need to have 2 passport size photos. You need to have proof of accommodation. You need to have proof of funds or income. This is kind of very specific for student residence permit, that you can either, because for all residence permits like business, family reunification, even permanent residence permit, you need to prove your monthly income, that your monthly income is high enough to meet all the requirements of the Ministry of the Interior. In case of students, that's the only exception where you prove your monthly income, or if you just show high enough balance in your bank account. So you can choose either the balance, that you have enough money, like 102,000 crowns now or in May 2022, or if you just if you prove your monthly income, depending on if you are employed or self-employed, or if you are dependent and relying on your parents, for example. So that was proof of funds. Then obviously documents on the purpose of your stay. So if the purpose of your stay is studies, you need to provide a document proving that we also study in the year. That would be the confirmation of studies or acceptance to the next school year. Then you need to pay the fee in revenue stamps, so 2,500 crowns in revenue stamps. And I believe that's it. You don't need the criminal record anymore because you are already in the Czech Republic and you're the medical report is not needed either. So that should be it. One more thing, that's the health insurance. You need to have health insurance for the full expected validity of your residence permit. So in case of students, it's basically always just 1 year, except you can get 2 years, but it's not very common. So generally for student residence permit, you get it for 1 year. So you need to have health insurance for 1 year. For other residence permits, like long-term residence permit with the family reunification purpose, business purpose, or the other purpose, you need to have validity, which can be 2 years. So you need to buy health insurance for 2 years. In some visa, which can be given to you for up to 3 years, you need to have health insurance covering the whole 3 years. This is in most cases the private health insurance, which now sucks because it's and I laugh, but it's actually not really funny, and we all hope that it will change. And I will probably do another live stream about that because that's stupid. But anyway, you need to buy it now. In case you're employed, for example, or self-employed, you have the public health insurance card from VZP or OZP or some other companies, then you can submit that and it's good enough. And that's it. Basically, that's the only documents you need to have to extend your student residence permit. And how to do that? If switching from a long-term visa to a long-term residence permit, you have to do it in person. You need to physically go to the Ministry of the Interior and submit the documents there. If you're just extending the validity of your residence permit, you can mail it to them. So you don't actually need to go to the all the documents, and before your current residence permit expires, you just mail it to the ministry. So you can save yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of problems, just like with going to the ministry. You can just mail it to them. So that's important. But you can only do it if you're extending the residence permit. If you're switching in person, and the same if you're switching from a long-term residence permit to a permanent residence permit, you also need to go in person. And also if you're changing the purpose of your stay from studies to employee card, or from business to studies or whatever, you also need to go in person. And in the same purpose of stay. So if you have a long-term residence permit with the purpose of studies and you're just extending that, you can just mail it. And I highly recommend doing that, because going to the ministry, all of you know that, and especially if you're a student and you need to go to Hladkov, then very interesting experience. And I usually, if I don't have to go there, I don't go there. And I know all the ministries inside out, and I know the people there and how to deal with them, and like I know all the cuts and everything. But still, if I don't have to go to the ministry, I don't go. So we mail all the extensions to them. We just don't go in person. So that's, I believe, everything I wanted to say about the extension of the residence permit, the student residence permit. And thank you again for the question on my TikTok. For those of you who don't know, I asked the question, I made a video about one topic, or I asked you to comment with the topics you're interested in. And I promised that I would make a video, or I would do a live stream exactly about each and single of the topics. Thank you, Daria, for the support. I'm on fire. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm sticking to that promise, and I've already done like 8 videos on 8 different topics on TikTok, and I will be continuing that. And I will then, so if you want to have your question answered, or you want me to do a live stream about a topic which is interested in you, go to my TikTok, like subscribe to me, to my channel, and then find the video and comment there, because I'm starting with these questions there. I will then get to other questions like from my Instagram or Facebook, but I'm starting with TikTok. So if you want to have your question answered, go to my TikTok, find a video, comment there, and I will do a live stream about that. Okay, now to your questions. Arun KB on YouTube. Hey, my employee card is approved, but embassy is asking me to write a letter to revoke my older application. How can I write letter card that was rejected? I don't know why they need this letter. I don't know either. I don't know either because I don't know anything about your application and your situation, and it's always difficult to advise. If I don't know anything, then I can give you invalid advice. But if I understand it correctly, you applied for an employee card that wasn't done properly, and then you applied again for another employee card. In that case, of course, you should take back the previous application because you cannot have two employee cards approved. I don't think you can even have two employee cards in the process at the same time. You can have two different residence permits in process. So you can apply for an employee card or for a partnership visa at the same time. That's possible. Or a permanent residency and employee card extension. That's possible as well. But you cannot have like employee cards in process at the same time. So if one is going to be approved, the other one needs to be taken back. So that's fine, and you should do that, and it's actually a standard thing to do. On the other hand, I don't know if that's the application. I don't know if that's what from you. So I would definitely request something from them in writing, like some letter from the Ministry of the Interior, not only from the embassy, because the embassy is not responsible for anything. So the embassy is not approving anything. The embassy is not denying anything. So the embassy is just a messenger between you and the Ministry of the Interior. So I would definitely recommend having something in written from the ministry so you know exactly what to do and why to do that. And then if it makes sense, definitely hire someone to review the letter and review your case and advise you on what to do, because I would definitely not trust embassies. They mean well, and there are some embassies which are very helpful. Like, for example, the Czech embassy in South Africa is very helpful. Czech embassy in Brussels, Czech embassy in Vienna, those are very helpful, and the people working there are very, very knowledgeable and very good. But some embassies we've seen requesting things they have no. We have seen them doing things they should not be doing and giving information which was not correct. But that's understandable because embassies fall under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But all the visa applications, long-term visa applications and long-term residence permit applications fall under the Ministry of the Interior. So those are two different ministries. So the embassy cannot know everything about immigration because they don't deal with the immigration. So I would definitely request some official document from the Ministry of the Interior. Then I would hire someone to review and then take some steps. Don't just follow some advice you randomly get from someone at the embassy. That would be my advice. But generally, yes, if you have two applications at the same time, you should take back the old one and just get the new one processed. But again, I don't know anything about your case. It's difficult to advise. Safa Bugatfa. Good evening, Jan. Can my husband send a letter from the Czech Republic to Saudi Arabia, the embassy where I applied for a long-term visa for the purposes of family reunification? The embassy to then send me an email asking me to send the power of attorney between the owner and I don't have this document now. My husband is asking to renter prepare it for us. I mean, can my husband send this document to the Czech Republic from the Czech Republic to Saudi Arabia embassy on my behalf to avoid any delays, please? I believe I answered this question already as a comment under one of the videos, but I'll answer it right now as well. And Mohadar Mohammed, I will answer your question as well. Just stick with me. Okay, I've been having something in my throat for like 3 weeks already or 2 weeks, and I still cannot get rid of it. So that's why I'm drinking. That's why my voice gets. Anyway, so Safa, yes, if the embassy requested some additional documents from you, that's a request from the Ministry of the Interior. So you can your husband can either send it to you and you take it to the embassy. That's the slowest way. then your husband can send it directly to the embassy. That's the faster way, but you need to double check with the embassy first, because some embassies just don't accept packages like that. But usually if you let them know and say, hey, I would like to order a package, I will send it to you like this, they're usually fine with that, but I would definitely double check with them. Or the best way would be, if you have your application number, then just send it directly, or your husband send it directly to the Ministry of the Interior. Because anyway, what the embassy will do, your husband will get a document here. Then he will ship it to you, to Saudi Arabia. Then you will take it to the embassy. And what the embassy will do is that they will ship it back to the Ministry of the Interior, or they will scan it back to the Ministry of the Interior. So it's like unnecessary, like long way. So your husband could also send it directly to the Ministry of the Interior, but he would need to know your application number, because if he doesn't know the application number, he doesn't have anywhere to send it, and it will never get to the decision maker in time. So either if he has the number, you can or he can send it directly to the Ministry of the Interior, which would be the best option. If he doesn't, then send it directly to the embassy, but then speak with them first to make sure that they know about it in advance. Safa, thanks, so kind of you. Wish you a speedy recovery. Take care. Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope for it as well. I don't know what it is, but I've been feeling very tired, and the throat, just I cannot get rid of it. So hopefully it's slightly getting better. So hopefully it will be fine soon. So now, question from Mohamed Ohadar Mohamed. Hello, Mr. Yankalina. The MOI asked me to complete my application with new criminal record. I was sent it to them before 2 months. Tell me now they didn't send me last decision. Well, again, I don't know exactly what you applied for and what was the situation and how it's going. So it's difficult to make any advice or any statement about that, because I just don't know anything about your case. But generally, if you submit something to the ministry, sometimes they make the decision fast, because they have the last missing document, and then they make the decision immediately. But sometimes they will just take forever anyway, because it depends on the decision maker. Some of the decision makers are good, and they like go fast, and like they make the decisions, and they check all the documents, and everything is fine with them. Some decision makers are slow as slots, and they will just take forever to make the decision. So unfortunately, that's how it is. If you've been waiting for too long, then you can send them a letter. I did another video about that. So you can send them either a polite letter asking about the status of your application, which has no legal value, so it officially will not do anything, but they at least need to put it into your file. So they will at least take the file, they will find it, and maybe they will decide to look at it and make a decision. Maybe not. It doesn't always help, but sometimes it does. Or then you have the stronger option that you will send them a complaint letter. That usually works, because it's a very strong legal thing to do. On the other hand, it also pisses off the ministry often, because it's like a complaint. Understand it the way that someone complained about you to your boss. So some people take it normally, and they will take it as a feedback, and they will improve their work. But some people will get pissed and will try to like seek revenge. So these two options are at the ministry as well. So if you send them the strong letter, the complaint, it usually makes them make the decision fast. It really works. We've done it a couple times, and it always works. They make the decision fast. But sometimes it's an approval. Sometimes it's requesting additional documents and trying to make it as hard for you as possible. So it depends on how long it's been, how long have you been waiting, and how fast you want to get the decision now. For the employee card, yeah, okay. That's a good one, because usually the problem with the employee card is the employer. So if they requested something from you and not from the employer, that's a good sign, actually. So Safa, yes, here's my application number. directly to the ministry. But first, check with the embassy if you can do it, and if they confirm it, then just send it. So, who are on Facebook? Hello, Jan. Do you happen to know what do we need to do to register the last name of the father to my newborn child? We are not married. So you have a newborn. Congratulations, by the way. And you would like to have that's how it works. In some countries, it's possible. If you're born in the country, you get that country's passport. In the Czech Republic, it's not like that, so you will not automatically get the Czech passport. On the other hand, you will get a Czech birth certificate. So I will do it. I believe that you need to choose when you're in the hospital, when you're giving birth, papers with you. But honestly, I've never done it. I've heard of it, but we don't provide it as a service. So I've only heard from either my sister when she gave birth, so how she did that, or maybe from a couple clients, but I have no experience with that, unfortunately. But anyway, happy newborn to in Olomouc, please. Deadline, if there is a branch of DHL in Olomouc, you check, you can do everything through our account and only from, so I'm not sure, but if you go to their website, you will definitely, because I believe they can pick it up from all around the. It will just take maybe one day extra or something. So unfortunately, don't know from top of my hand. We are based in through DHL, so we have a great experience with them. They deliver like 100%. Never had a problem. And they deliver very fast. The only we've ever had with them was that we were trying to do like a small city somewhere in Brazil, rainforests, so it took a bit longer than expected. It would be my first choice, but if they have a branch in Olomouc, I'm not sure. I would guess so, because there are plenty of students, so I would guess so. But like international students mail in documents back and forth, but I don't know, honestly. Okay, guys, any other questions? If you don't have any other questions, finish in the live stream and I'll go. Otherwise, I'll do the weird dance as you do for the last minute of the live stream. Okay, questions? Safa, thanks a lot. You're welcome. I hope that you're approved soon. If yes, let me know. I know you've been joining the live streams for quite some time, and it now seems to be getting to, fingers crossed for you. And thank you guys for joining. The choice is yours. It's called and topic covers. Safa, yes, of your channel. Thank you very much. So please, if you like the content, if you enjoy it, share it. I've done video probably about topic in the Czech immigration. So if you share some of my videos somewhere on Facebook, or if you see someone asking about something, you recommend me, I'll be happy. I'll be very happy. So thank you guys. Sleep well, or whatever is the time your countries, and see you again next time. So on Monday, and then on Thursday, and then on Monday, and then on Thursday again. Thank you, Safa. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.